Welcome back to Inside Southeastern Baseball with head coach J.R. Tees, presented by your local Southern Quality Ford dealers, Champagne Beverage, and also Benny's Place here in downtown Hammond. And one of the big stories around Lion baseball the last few years is Wade Miley, a former Lion great who has moved on to the big leagues and has had a stellar career so far, was Rookie of the Year a year ago and also was a National League All-Star. Well, each and every game that he pitches, it's a special day in the Miley household. Here's the story.
This Loranger living room you see here gets excited every 5 days or so, depending on how the Arizona Diamondbacks schedule works out. You see, this living room is home to Wendell and Wanda Miley, parents of D-backs All-Star pitcher Wade Miley, and Wendell claims to be the calm one on game day.
We just kind of relax and enjoy the game, or I do. She gets uptight, but I'm able to finally just sit and enjoy it a little bit.
Wanda sits and charts every pitch of the game on a scorecard, not just the pitches that Wade throws. And like her scorecard, her big cup of coffee is never far from her side.
I get both lineups, and I get the starting lineup, and I write them down in my book, and I wait for the game to start and go from there. And then I like to go back and look, like last year he played this same team. I like to see if some of the names are the same or see what he did against them then, and just for me, just to be nosy, keep up with stuff.
On this day, Wade and the Diamondbacks were in Miami taking on the Marlins. Early on, Wendell and Wanda could sense Wade had brought his A game after he struck out 2 of the first 3 batters he faced.
When it's really good, I could see, you know, you just start seeing how smooth he is, how his body language is. You know, if he don't have his stuff, you can just see a little more jerk in him. And but when it's, you know, when everything's working, it is pretty easy to pick up that, hey, this is going to be a fun day.
Both parents have seen Wade pitch more times than they can count, and it was with the help of a family friend that made Wendell realize how good his son was at baseball.
I had people that knew more about the game than I did start telling me that, you know, hey, your kid's got a gift. Make sure you give him every opportunity to allow that gift to grow and develop.
It was fun. It was very fun. We got to see a lot of things, got to go to a lot of places. I got to go more when he was younger than I did when he got in college. You know, Wendell went on all the road trips, most of them, and but somebody had to stay home and work, so it was me.
Wade played baseball for Southeastern from 2006 to 2008 and won 20 games for the Lions while striking out 256 batters. And his mom knows Wade really enjoyed his time at Southeastern.
He really had fun here at Southeastern, being at home and, you know, being able to be with his friends when he got through, you know, and not have to travel back and forth from somewhere off to be home.
Wendell's traveled around the country to see his son pitch in some really nice ballparks, but nothing compares to the day he saw his son walk onto the field at Yankee Stadium.
Well, this year, just getting to see him walk on the field at Yankee Stadium was very special because, I mean, there's so much history there, and just to look down and see your son walk out on that, you know, mound, and was very special for me.
And despite being a big league pitcher with so much on his mind these days, Wade took time to think about his mom and remember her on Mother's Day.
He sure did. He sent me a thing of tulips that are right behind you, a box of tulips, and the Monday I got, Saturday I got the tulips, and Monday I got strawberries from Sherry's Berries.
Wanda scored some nice Mother's Day gifts, which gives Wendell hope since Father's Day is just next month.
Coach, I know a lot of Lion fans, you know, wait for that every 5th start for Wade Miley to have a chance to watch him pitch at the big league level, but that's got to be something else for his family.
I tell you what, Mr. Wendell and Miss Wanda, they're 2 special people. I tell you, and Wade, what he means to this university, what the whole community of Southeastern and Loranger. He's done tremendous jobs, obviously. It's always exciting when he pitches. You know, I just wish he was on the East Coast because it keeps us up late at night, and my 2 boys put their uniforms on, jerseys on, and we lay in bed and watch him pitch every time. So it's exciting for everybody. And I know as a parent, you know, Mr. Wendell, Miss Wanda, they must be biting their fingernails off watching him pitch because it's nerve-wracking for all of us. He's done such a great job, and he's so much fun to watch play.
It's now time to take a look at another Lion feature this week, and this week we take a look at a Lion fan who's at each and every ball game right behind home plate.
If you've ever wondered who the gentleman sitting next to the box seat fence at Alumni Field is, well, that's Jack Collins Sr. Jack, along with his family, never miss a chance to watch the Lions play every time they take the field in Hammond.
Southeastern baseball is everything to my son and my daughter and my grandson. and my daughter-in-law. She happened to work for Southeastern. I don't live here. I'm from Terrytown in Jefferson Parish, so I'm a newcomer, really, to Southeastern.
Collins has a routine. He watches the game as long as his Lions are winning. But if the Lions ever get down, Collins turns to another activity until Southeastern gets back up.
It frustrates me. So to get over that, I read. That's why you see me reading every now and then. But then when they play like they did today, and it's interesting, that's when I stop reading.
That's right. If the Lions are down, the 88-year-old Collins sits back with his Kindle Fire and turns to the written word. But once Southeastern regains the lead, it's back to watching baseball. Collins has led a very eventful life, and when he was 17, Collins joined the United States Navy as a Seabee. The work was hard, but Collins got to see the world.
The Seabees is NBC, which is the counterpart of the Army's engineers. In other words, we did the same thing as the Army engineers did. When Marines took an island, they had it pretty well under control, not all the time under control. When we came in, we built the airfields, we repaired whatever was bombed and wiped out. We started fixing that.
After his Seabee days ended, Collins was declared a second-class petty officer and assigned to the galley. And if Louisiana people know anything, it's how to cook. And Collins sure could cook. But overseas, cooking never stopped.
Overseas, we had a galley crew. We had the cooks, bakers, and butchers. We had 24 hours. The galley never did close. The coffee pots never were empty.
Collins remembers that day in 1945 when he and his shipmates got word that the war was over.
And we was on the high seas when all the lights went on the ship, and they said the war is over. So everybody started hollering, the whistle started blowing and everything else in the convoy.
When Collins returned home, he spent the next 40 years working in public service for the power company and went on to marry and raise a family. Through the years, Collins has never taken 1 minute of his life for granted.
And every time I get up in the morning, put my 2 feet on the floor, I said, Lord, I said, you've been good to me. I said, you let me have a family, almost a 60-year marriage. I says, and every morning, I says, I'm thankful for you that I put my feet on the floor. How you're doing this for 88 years, I never know.
And now that there are no more home baseball games to go see, you'd think Collins would take time to relax and enjoy his reading. But not Southeastern's Jack Collins. He's already looking forward to...
But I'm looking forward to football.
Coach, Memorial Day is coming up, and right here we see Jack Collins. This is a guy who's at every game right there behind home plate. He's a World War II veteran, and this is what college athletics is all about, to have fans like this to come out every game.
No question about it. You know, there's so many things that go on during a ball game, but seeing a man like that that's done so much for our country, to sit back and be able to come watch us play like that, I mean, it means a lot to our guys. When they see that, it definitely means a lot.
All right, it's now time for the tip of the week with Coach Jay Ortiz.
Hi, welcome to this week's Tip of the Week. This week we demonstrate the fundamentals of throwing down to second base. To help do that, we're going to have sophomore catcher Tanner Rainey. You see Tanner getting his squatted position. One of the keys is you always want to keep your butt below the baseball, wherever the baseball is thrown. You see Tanner receive the baseball, his right foot goes straight to second base, glove to his heart, ball to his ear, lined up to second base with all his momentum going with his throw. That is this week's Tip of the Week.
Coach, we see Tanner Rainey here throwing down the second base. This is something that your catching staff always does a good job of, is throwing runners out at second.
Yeah, they do a good job this season throwing guys out. Tanner does a great job demonstrating the fundamentals, good footwork, short arm action. Doesn't hurt to have a strong arm like he does as well.
All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to wrap it up here on Inside Southeastern Baseball with head coach Jay Ortiz, presented by your local Southern Quality Ford dealers, Champagne Beverage, and also Benny's Place right here in downtown Hammond. Stay with us.